Hey everybody and welcome back. I am KRX and we are going to be wrapping up this starter city build. So far I'm actually really liking what we have going. The sort of the final frontier for us I think is getting a commercial area down here that will be able to get large and get filled in and look good, right? And I'm thinking like too many roads that come off of here too suddenly I think are going to be a bad thing. It kind of looks like this does look like it wants to continue, right? This looks like it wants to continue, but I'm really worried about making that into a four-way intersection. I think that's going to be bad. This curve seems to end right here. I think that makes sense that this could kind of come in one way or another. I mean, maybe that looks like that wants to communicate with each other, to be honest, but it could be that this actually ends up like what if we actually just bring it out like a little bit and then we bring it up and then we get rid of that little segment that we just made like that, so it kind of looks like it connects but it doesn't connect. That could be kind of interesting. I don't know if we want that to connect or not. We could just leave that there for now, but I think we really did want to bring up roads this direction. That's a 90. And can we get a 90 degree? Can get a 90 degree. Not bad. You know, bringing that up, I'm just wondering, is this too much of a gap right here between buildings? I mean, trees or something, maybe? I just trying to think. Yeah, that might be a little bit too much, I think. I think let's try to make that. Yeah, there we go. One unit. Well, then it kind of became two. I think it'd be one if we were using a normal sized road, I think. It's adjusting for the fact that the road's a little bit goofier. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna try to do right now, and we shouldn't have game pause. That's a mistake. Might as well let the game run so we can start, keep making that money. Keep making that money. The question is, do we want to bring this from the end down? And does it also need to curve a bit? Like it goes straight for a little bit, but then maybe it curves. I mean, maybe it doesn't curve. A slight curve. I don't know if that's looking good or not. If we did have it curve, what would be the end result of something like that? See, this is looking a little bit messy. This is just looking crazy and messy. I like that road, just this road, but with these here and these here makes sense to me. This altogether doesn't make sense to me. But what happens if we just had that go straight? Better, I think. This is a little bit, for how curved and freeform this kind of feels, this is very rigid, but considering, I mean, maybe, wait a second. I mean, if that's rigid, I mean, let's play up to that a little bit. Getting kind of an interesting intersection there. I know the trees, we're kind of just like pretending the trees aren't here right now because we're trying to just sort of get some sort of something going. I'm not sure. I don't know if this should maybe start curving once it gets there and start curving more downward, or if this looks good. I mean, we don't know what's going on right now. Don't know what's going on right now. To speed 2, but I think we're done with speed 3. I think if we're just sort of casually doing some building over here, letting the city sort of make money, I think we'll be good for the rest of the bit here. These are complaining about power and stuff. The zoning's getting a little whacked out. We do need to get something in here. I mean, we could leave room for a big park, right? We could totally leave room for a big park. Maybe honestly just along here. We should just try to freestyle this. Easier said than done, maybe. But maybe we should try to freestyle this with the curvature of the road that we already have. And then if that goes straight, I mean, does that kind of like tie in the rest of this together? I don't know. That's a 90-90. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, we could have like a park in the middle here. This is a little crazy looking. This is a little crazy looking. I mean, should this probably should continue. These probably should go somewhere. Wait a second, that's curved all of a sudden. No. Yeah, let's back it up, back it up. We have snapping on? We don't. That's our problem. That's what we want. That's what we want. Just a nice straight. Honestly, if we continued this out, right? Hypothetically, we'd get another crossing like that, which could be okay. It could be okay. I mean, what the heck? Let's just bring this out and see what happens. Bring this up and see what happens. I mean, I don't think these need to, you know, that, to me, this is looking kind of interesting. I mean, you could maybe kind of fill in with some interesting road work in these sections to kind of make this look a little, I think you'd want to kind of do grid. We have some very dramatic angled roads. We have some curved roads. I think at this point, we just want to kind of like fill in an organized manner. I think also there is a chance that, you know, we're going to want something. We're using network extensions, right? We need network extensions to load this map. So I'm going to come in with one of my favorite roads, which is this 4-lane small, and try to make a little bit of a contrast here by beefing up these smaller roads down this way. That goes to a rural area. We probably don't need that to be too crazy. And then what we can do is now that we've done that, we've kind of beefed up these roads. We might be able to. Now, honestly, around here, we might even want it to be a thicker road, like a boulevard. Or no, boulevard on the way down. Yeah. Mimic that. Mimic this side. Yeah. Like that. If we do that, I'm just thinking, can we sneak in? Do we sneak in just sort of normal size roads? And is that contrast going to be good? And then basically from here on out, we'd probably go in with skinny roads. But this, I think, looks good. I think this is looking good. And here, what we can do is we could just basically just fill all of this with commercial, leaving this area in the middle for a park maybe. Maybe a unique building or services or something in some of these tighter areas. But I think honestly, we're just going to kind of just go in and start filling. I think this might look good. Eventually we could go back and make this high density or you know, again, unique buildings I think will break this up quite nicely. Offices could kind of be added to this section later once we get those kind of things unlocked. I think we have it all watered up mostly. We seem to be getting a little bit of traffic. I repeat, there's a small amount of traffic going on here. Now there's a flow setting issue. If you have traffic manager mod, you can fix this in a jiffy, right? Junction restrictions, flow setting. We don't have traffic manager mod right now. That's actually a problem. That's a problem. This is actually kind of designed in a goofy way. I'm kind of wondering, should we at least kind of like try to beef this up properly? Like that might help making these, but see how this is a left turn? That's not going to help us at all. It's not going to help us at all. So what we need is we need traffic manager mod to be able to make that go straight. This one's already going straight or turning left, which is good. This one, of course, these just go off. This is, again, turning right, or sorry, left. This left turn right here is useless because no one on the roundabout needs to get back on to the roundabout. That doesn't make sense. That does seem to be helping a little bit, but again, traffic manager mod, you could whip this up. We actually do have a video about making roundabouts with traffic manager mod. However, I need to update that video. I need to make it more concise and more updated. It's kind of hard to find because it's part of a traffic fixing tutorial, which is, so it's kind of like embedded into, like, it was kind of not really the point of the video. It was more just an aspect of the video. This is actually filling in quite nice over here. I think what we'll want to do is let's get, actually, you know what would be kind of cool here? I'm going to pause because we're going to need to reset this, but what if we use this little network extensions Little fancy little boulevard, 2-lane boulevard road thingamajig. Oh no, that looks kind of nice to me. Of course, we did just bop our... the reason why I have it paused is because we just bopped our pathways. Which means our zoning got all messed up. There we go, we're back. We do need... It looks like this is actually kind of messing with us a bit. Some of these areas got kind of bopped up a bit. There we go. That should be fine again. Should be fine again. But that road right there, just a little bit of a contrast, right? Compared to like a normal road. I think it looks good with that median in the middle. I think it looks nice. And then we'll be able to do that on this side too to kind of balance that out. Although it looks like to me naturally, this one's like a little bit lower. Am I crazy? But this one's got like a kind of a lazy eye on this side. Oh, there we go. Busy town. What did we get for busy town? Got tourism specialization. However, we're not playing with After Dark, so I don't know why it labels that. Is that added? Is that added for free? Am I crazy? We don't have... I promise you we do not have After Dark loaded. Was this stuff added for free? I'm not sure why we have any of this stuff. I thought this was After Dark exclusive. Oh well. Either way. Just in case it is After Dark exclusive and just in case I accidentally loaded it, we're not going to mess around with any of that stuff. But it looks like that's a little bit of a lazy eye there. Which, to be fair, would it look better if this was like straight through? Probably. But I think we'll be able to sell it regardless. I think really with this one here, it looks like it might start curving that way, but it also might split and go up. In fact, could we actually do the split now? Could we actually do the split now? I'd like to make the split larger. I think this is... we would want to start it pretty early, but I think fundamentally the split would be much larger, so I'm not going to do it on this map until we expand. But of course, we're not going to be expanding because we're going to save, you know, you guys will have like 2 or 3 tiles to be able to just go to town on the rest of this map and keep expanding these different designs and stuff that we're working on. Again, I like the 2-lane alleys. I like sort of having that as a contrast for the side roads and stuff. In fact, actually, what we could do to make it even a little bit more different and unique. Kind of just goofing off. This isn't quite perfect, but that's okay. We could do some plain street roads. We could do some plain street roads. Bring this around, and I don't know, we might need a freestyle here. I like these trees sort of blocking the freeway there. So I don't think we need to utilize all of that space. This rock's gonna get bopped. It's a very nice rock. Very nice rock. But I think you're gonna be donezo here. Nothing fancy here, guys. Nothing fancy. Just instead of connecting that in at kind of what looked like a little bit more of an odd angle, I'm just gonna go past it, and then we'll use that to kind of like finish it off, and that will kind of make that look a little bit better, I think. But here we're just now thinking, okay, how do we fill this space? And it could be as simple as just kind of taking, you know, every little bit and kind of just doing some of these. And I mean, does that look great? Maybe not. It doesn't look awful. But the interesting thing is we could actually sort of try to bring this through. And kind of make it seem like these are going to continue through. However, problem with this is it seems the angles are not quite right. So maybe we don't do every one. Maybe we do like every other or something. I don't even think that's connected there. It's not. Did it connect here? I don't even know. Looked like it did. I mean, this isn't, again, this really isn't going to be the most revolutionary design. But what this is at least looking like is this is sort of like a continued design, something that sort of continues through, which I think is good. That actually probably needs to fan out more, and maybe it will from over here. Yeah, I think this curvature needs to change. So let's get rid of the... Really, all we need to get rid of there is the guidelines. There we go. But this curvature probably... Yeah, let's just get rid of snapping altogether. And see, now it's going to start going this direction, kind of with this. But to be fair, I think we're going to have this doing kind of a hard maneuver over to here. I think it's going to be more important to get this over to here than back here. But it just depends, honestly. You could go a totally different way with it. You could have your big industrial port back here. In fact, honestly, it looks like it's going to sit right there just fine. Maybe that's actually better. Maybe having the industry back here and having residential over here, maybe this actually just makes more sense. Kind of goes with the natural flow that we're already getting here. And this tree, this is kind of dividing that right a little bit. These trees and stuff here are kind of dividing out, spacing out that industry from that residential things. So maybe that's just kind of the natural progression there. But these roads look like they continue through. That's the point. I think that's ultimately kind of the point of what we're doing here. This, I think we're just going to go with the box and just kind of have that hard. Although we do need to redo these so these are actually properly connected. There we go. And we have an area, we have a design that can then extend into the next area. Very, very simple design, of course, but it's something. It's something. I think, you know, you can use some of these bigger areas for like parks and pathways, and you can do some tree work and stuff like that. So there's plenty of ways to fill these spaces. I'm not worried about it whatsoever. Little bit of a sort of a spacing here in the middle, but you know, just like a thick line of trees and stuff could probably look really good there. Also, I think, yeah, let's do this. Let's take these pathways here. Pop these sides, which honestly, I really like this dark brown with this map thing that we're using. In fact, the visuals, all the visuals will be part of the collection. You don't have to download them if you don't want the map theme that we're using, LUT that we're using and stuff, but I'll have all that stuff. In fact, we might be using the European LUT. I think we're just using the default European LUT. It actually looks kind of nice with this map theme and Daylight Classic setting and stuff. Surprising. So this is going to need to come over though, because it's going to be complaining about power until it does. Oh, looks like it went up to the power. That might be connected. There we go. That's a connection. That is a connection. And of course, we could zone this outside with houses too, and there would be nothing wrong with that. We could zone this main road. There'd be nothing wrong with that. We have some area over here that looks like it could be sort of enhanced or expanded. And it kind of makes me think, okay, well, what if we just kind of did... Ooh, whoa. Wait a second. We line this up. I'm using Anarchy to do this, but essentially, right? Using Anarchy just to make that line, but I'm really just going with this flow. I just went through the freeway knowing I was gonna bop it. So now this actually, it would make sense to have that all be a non sort of main road, but honestly, we might actually make this a main road now, or not a main road, but more of a main road, right? More paved than plain, I guess. Just to kind of make that all seem, because it looks like this would be a pretty strong road going from there. But we could actually do, I don't know, we could do some stuff here and make some of these look like they continue through, and I don't know what we're doing here, to be honest. Or we could just do something totally different. Yeah, let's just do something totally different. Let's just grid this up. That's a little tight with the freeway. It'd be nice if there's a little bit more spacing there. In the background, right? Oh, we do need to go back up to speed 2 if we want to kind of keep that progressing. But I think we want this to come out 90. So are we not? Yeah, we didn't have snapping on. I think we want that one to come out 90. This one's not coming out 90, but I think it's going to look okay. But that's the question now. Do we go 90 or do we not go 90? Unlike these connections here. I think we go 90 and we let this shape just be a little bit more interesting, I guess. This is a little bit inverted, I think, compared to what we have out here. Okay, we need the piping to continue. Not quite see that when those people moved in. Luckily, they're not super complaining quite yet, so we have a little bit of time to fix that. We also are making some good money down here, guys. Making some good money down here. I think we're going to come in and clip the zoning on this road, just like we did with the other side. And yeah, these houses don't have to be 4 deep. In fact, having a little bit of a buffer there, going in with a line of trees or something like that, could look really nice. Again, you can take, you know, kind of as much time as you want, right? Working the trees and the pathways and everything to really kind of make all these little neighborhoods pop and stuff. Just a simple way to do detailing without having to download any fancy assets or anything like that. Make sure we didn't clip it there too much. We are actually not getting commercial demand. This is actually looking pretty good. This is going to get filled in very, very fast. We do have industry, though. We do need to think about more industry. I think I really want to kind of expand this for industry or go up here for industry. I think up here would actually make perfect sense because we have this whole sort of motorway just going to nothing right now. But yeah, just in a basic sense, we could just fill this to get a little bit more industry going there. In fact, we're almost kind of in a point where we're almost getting this, the power could almost be connected with maybe a park here and a park here and a park here. We can kind of get rid of a lot of these power lines, I bet. Let's do it. Let's see if we can make something subtle. Add something kind of subtle to kind of have this tie in a bit. That might connect. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of all the trees, but parks are very commonly used for this kind of power jumping like that. There we go. Yeah. So there we go. Let's clean this up. We don't need this connection anymore. If you click to delete a power line, you just hold the left click. You can actually move your mouse around and it'll only get rid of power lines, which is kind of nice. Question is, are we going to be able to get this hooked in? I think right now I just have it sort of like angled down here on the very edge. So, you know, as this builds out, you know, maybe we come in with commercial here, we come with services or something. I think we'll be able to kind of do that. How are we doing on garbage? Actually, we're about to fill up our first landfill, which is kind of a bummer. Let's just add another one. Starting to make some good money. God, hospitals are unlocked. Big fire stations are unlocked. We didn't unlock high density yet, did we? No, we're only 1,000 away from high density though. Big fire station. Industry's gonna love this. We're making tons of money. Let's go in with a smaller fire station out here in this sort of area that'll kind of appease these people. It actually probably would make sense to have fire station out here too. There goes all of our money. Perfect time to end after we've lost all of our money. But we are well set up on services. We're making 4,000 a week. It's going to go down a little bit now that we've added these services, but we should be getting some level ups. Yeah, we are. I think we are getting some buildings leveling up. That should tie back into a good amount of income. And we're actually getting some good park land value out here. We could definitely come in with more sort of little areas in here and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd say overall, right? Overall, the city is looking pretty well developed, right? I'm liking this area. If we filled this all in with commercial and had a big park in the middle, I think that would look nifty. I think this area could be a neighborhood or a downtown, a high density. This probably is where we could put high density residential back here. And then maybe even, I don't know, like, I'm not sure what would go in this section, actually, to be honest. And the industry could kind of keep going this way, or we could do a big industrial area back here. More, you know, neighborhoods. These neighborhoods are primed to be expanded as we move out into these areas here. But yeah, I think things are looking quite nice. Guys, thank you so much everybody for watching this little starter build series. Of course, the links for all the required the save file is down below. That's going to include the map and network extensions, which is required to download for this because we are using network extensions, extra road assets. So if you try to load it up without that, you're going to realize that a lot of roads are just vanished. But then I'll also have the visual stuff down below too. There are a couple tree assets, right? Remember, a couple of these trees, these smaller trees right here, are in a tree pack that I actually really like and already was using. But I'll have a link for those too because you'll need those or else the trees will be poof. But all the stuff you need is down below. Let me know. Give me your feedback on whether or not you like the series and whether or not you think it's educational. Let me know if you actually play on this map. Post in the Discord. If you play on this map, take some screenshots. Post in the Discord. We'd love to see your progress on that. So the link for the Discord's down below. Everybody's welcome in there, of course. And I will see you guys on the next one. And we'll just keep doing these once a week. My goal is once a week for the rest of the year. That's going to probably be eight starter builds. We're just going to keep cranking these out, going through the design methodology, design ideology that I go through when I start a new city. And yeah, I think this could be a fun one to expand. But have a good one, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.